Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is really exposing Whitney Rose for the liar and the fraud that she is, she really thought she was doing her big one, but she is exposed for being a liar and a fraud and trying to set up Lisa Barlow. We have the receipts. And then we'll do a fun review of the show. But before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So, with that, let's dive right on in. And oh, you guys, if you're listening live, be sure to say hi in the chat box. Let me know where you're listening from. What were some of your favorite moments, and whose side are you on? Whitney's or Lisa's? So, let's dive in. My first thoughts on Whitney Rose and the whole scandal that it was exposed that allegedly she sources her jewelry line, which also allegedly turns your skin green, from Alibaba or AliExpress, which is essentially a third party wholesale company that sells, jewelry, t-shirts, clothes, knickknacks, whatever may have you, for like penny on the dollars, like super, super cheap. You buy in bulk and then you resell it at a big markup. But Whitney Rose was acting like she and her team were designing these designs. It's all real, it's all authentic, unique designs, blah, 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 blah. So she's acting like the fact that Dana Wilkey exposed this on her Patreon podcast, like somehow this is some huge betrayal. Number one, this is public information. And don't worry, you guys, I'm going to get into the whole exposing Whitney as a liar and a fraud, and Whitney and Lisa Barlow, and who I think actually gave the information to Dana Wilkey, because Dana Wilkey basically told us who her informant is without actually saying it. And I have the clip and we'll watch it. But back to this. Whitney is trying to make a moment out of a non-moment, because everything that we know about this situation with her jewelry line Prism, same photos on her website as the Alibaba AliExpress website. This is all public information. This isn't like somebody did a background check. This isn't somebody accusing somebody of, sleeping with men to get their tequila in distribute it in stores. This isn't somebody talking about people going bankrupt or committing fraud. This isn't a scandal or a secret. Like literally anybody could go to alibaba.com and prismbywhitney.com, whatever the website is, and see it and see that they are selling the same exact thing. This is literally Google. You can just Google it. This isn't some big scandal. So Whitney, pipe down. Like even on Bravo Snark's side, it says, since Whitney has brought this into the forefront, let's talk about her alleged Alibaba AliExpress jewelry. My amazing followers, you all, had sent me pics immediately upon launch of Prism, showing me this was just stuff from China discount website. When it comes to housewives merch, you all don't miss a beat. These are old pics, FYI, except for the last picture of the cross from prison, which was screenshot today. So my point is this. It honestly doesn't matter if Dana Wilkey actually had, quote, a housewife informant or not, because like Bravo Snark Side said, this is public information. This isn't actually a secret. And it seems like people were already realizing what was going on, just no YouTuber or podcaster with enough following or hit right actually talked about it on their platform. So Whitney's trying to make this whole thing about my business, my reputation. This is literally all online for free. You don't need to call a private detective. Now let's break down how Whitney Rose was busted for lying. Number one, let's first talk about the staged hotel phone call about her jewelry being in the trash, trying to implicate Lisa Barlow as going against her business. Number one, anytime anyone on television is recorded, whether it is audio, whether it is visual, you have to sign a release form giving the production company, giving the network permission to use your likeness on television. So the reason why I bring that up is when the hotel person calls Whitney and is like, "Oh, Whitney, we found this jewelry in the trash can in Lisa's room. Do you want it or whatever, blah blah blah." All of that was staged because the hotel people had to sign a release to use their voice and their name and their likeness on the show for that call itself. Adam from Up and Adam, he had to sign a release too, just to use his voice on the phone call. So all of that is scheduled, all of that is staged, all of that, it has like legit paperwork behind it. So Whitney acting like the hotel people are just calling her out of the blue is fake and staged. Also, I have never in the history of the world have ever heard of someone from a hotel calling someone about trash in a room that wasn't even their room. Does that make any sense to you? Why would people at the hotel, number one, be going through the trash? That's suspect. Wouldn't you just take the trash bag out and throw it away? And number two, why would they call Whitney about trash in a legit trash can left in somebody else's room that was not hers? Sure, she may have booked the room, but she wasn't staying in the room. It was Lisa's room. Did she book the room or did Bravo book the room? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I've never heard of a hotel worker going through the trash and then calling someone and say, "Hey, we found this in the trash. Do you want it?" No, that's why I threw it in the trash. And why didn't they call Lisa? You see what I'm saying? If I'm a hotel worker, I'm in somebody's hotel room and I look in the trash bag and there's jewelry in it. Maybe I'm like, "Oh my God, they accidentally threw away their jewelry. Let me call the concierge and have them, contact the people." The concierge would contact the person who is actually in the room. They would have called Lisa and said, "Hey, we found jewelry. We just want to make sure you didn't accidentally throw this jewelry away because this is the room you're staying in." Why would they call Whitney? Doesn't make sense. All staged, all fake. Second part. Friends are very, very fickle, especially in this industry. People smile on your face in cahoots one day, and then the next day they are like, "I don't know her. She's crazy. Who is that?" I'm talking about Up and Adam. Now, I personally don't like talking about other content creators. However, since he is on the show, his likeness, his voice, he is now a part of the show. So I feel like I'm allowed to give my opinion on him because now he is a part of the show. He's not just another YouTuber or podcaster, but he signed that release form. He is now a part of the show. He's a part of a storyline. So that is why I will give my opinion on what I think is going on with him. However, if he was just a regular content creator, I would not do this. So that's my disclaimer on that because I want to be respectful of all content creators. But once you're on the show, you're fair game. Okay, so he is now backtracking like nobody's business. He's on his channel being like, "I don't really know Whitney like that. That's not what I said. The producers edited my phone call. We had multiple conversations. They used, they filmed it out of sequence. They gave a confessional in the middle. They chopped it up. I never said that. They took it out of context." He is basically backpedaling like nobody's business. But I'm sorry, Adam, we heard the conversation. You clearly said that it was someone in Whitney's circle, meaning the housewife group, who owned a liquor brand. And you said that's who, now we know Dana said it was. That's what you said on the phone. Unless they really did some type of like AI Jedi Knight editing where they used the line she said and then use the line you said from two completely different conversations, you were co-signing what Whitney was saying. Okay. Why I think you're backtracking now, a couple of reasons. Number one, Lisa threatened to sue because people aren't playing games anymore in these streets. That's why everything is for entertainment, alleged my opinion. Okay. People aren't playing games anymore in these streets. You come for people, you lie on people, they're going to call their lawyer in 2 seconds. People are not playing games. I think because Lisa threatened to sue. I also think because Dana Wilkey came out and said, I unequivocally said that it was not Lisa Barlow. And she's doubling down that she made it very clear it was not Lisa. And now Adam's just being like, I never said that it was Lisa Barlow. Whitney said she thought it was. And then after everything she told me, then I was like, well, maybe that makes sense because, I felt loyalty to Whitney because she was nice to me at BravoCon. He's basically like, I don't really know her like that. It was all her. It was all editing. I never said it. He's backtracking all the way up. And I think also because he doesn't want the smoke, it's not a good look to be ratting people out. And especially when it turns out you're lying or being misleading. And Dana Wilkey has come out, and I have a clip, and I'm going to play it in a little bit, basically co-signing with what I thought, which was this. When Dana Wilkey got the information about Whitney Rose allegedly using not counterfeit jewelry, but just jewelry from Alibaba or AliExpress, and then selling for like $1, and then selling it for like $50 on her website, which a lot of people knew about, just not a lot of people were talking about it on their platforms. But a lot of people knew about this. But when Dana decided to actually post it on her Patreon, Adam's husband, Jason, heard about it and found out about it. And told Adam. And then Adam and Jason decided to call Whitney and give her a heads up because they're cool. I guess Whitney had Adam's back during BravoCon. Adam had said something about Monica that was like positive. The rest of the housewives kind of came after him, except for Whitney, because Whitney is cool with Monica and like wants to be friends with her, which for whatever reason is sickening, but whatever. But, snakes like to be with snakes. So it is what it is. And so when Adam and Jason told Whitney what was going on, her reaction was, oh, it must be Lisa. It must be Lisa. Right? So if this is all confirmed that Whitney, number one, knew about this story and knew it was coming out, and two, when she knew about it, and this was all before filming, all off camera, her initial reaction was Lisa Barlow must have been the one to do this, then why did Whitney on camera, on filming, act so surprised and shocked and hurt about Meredith talking about it on the show? And tried to act like it was Meredith doing all this stuff and attacked Meredith at first, when you already knew about the thing, and then you tried to downplay it like, oh, it was like this little post, like I kind of heard about it. Turns out you were trying to get Adam to find out who was saying it from Dana, and you already said it was Lisa. Then why did you act so surprised and shocked and like it was such a big reveal when Heather said, oh yeah, the person who told Meredith about it was Lisa? If behind the scenes and before filming, you already had Adam spying and doing his private investigator situation, and this is no shade to him, he's just doing what he's doing. He's a content creator. He's creating the content. He's getting the scoop. He's just doing him. So this is no shade to him by any means. If you were already that deep into it thinking Lisa did it, why did you act so shocked and so surprised and so betrayed that Lisa knew about it? When A, you already knew about it, and B, you were already trying to get information and proof to prove that it was Lisa, but you weren't able to get any proof to prove that it was Lisa. So you never got any proof to prove that it was Lisa, but yet then you started filming and you say, I have proof. The person who told me, like the podcaster said it, he had like verified it, blah, blah, blah. But then Adam told it that ended up calling him and said, "Hey, listen, I need you to call and have this conversation with me on camera for continuity." So when she was yelling at Meredith, when she was yelling at Lisa at all the parties, that was all before the conversation was actually in the car that she had with Adam. They shot that after in order to get that footage to then go back and insert it before the mafia party. So they shot the stuff out of sequence and then they went back to insert it. And they do this a lot. They do it sometimes in pickup shots. They did it a lot in Beverly Hills. Anytime they're filming and they're filming like in a car, usually it's a shot that they get after the fact to go back and insert in order to make the story make sense, in sequence for continuity, so everything makes sense. So Whitney basically needed Adam to call and say or allude to that they had proof that it was Lisa in order to justify her pointing the finger at Lisa. And Adam said this on his channel. This is what he said. I watched the video. But the gag is this. Do I believe Adam? Yes. However, I think he's leaving out the fact that I think he was 100% a willing participant in setting up Lisa Barlow to take the fall for this alleged secret betrayal reveal, when in reality, it's not a secret or betrayal or reveal. All of these websites are on Google, and all you have to do is go on Google and see it. Like, this isn't some big scandal that they're revealing about them. It's not like, oh my God, Jen Shaw stealing from the elderly. Oh my gosh, it's not someone's having an affair. It's not that. It's just like, oh, literally, I can just go on these two websites and see that she's buying it from them and then marking it up. That's not a secret. Everybody does white labeling. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. You just have to be transparent about it. Right? So it's obvious that Adam was in cahoots with Whitney to blame it on Lisa. But when the smoke came, I don't think he was really built for it like that. And now he's squealing like a pig. She said it. She said it was Lisa based on what she said. It was editing. We shot it out of sequence. He's just squealing all the stuff because he doesn't want the backlash. He doesn't want the smoke because it is so obviously a lie. And when the person, shout out to Dana Wilkey, who actually broke the story, comes out and says, I told you directly it was not Lisa Barlow. I said that straight up from jump. When the person who actually broke the story that you are alleging told you it was Lisa comes out and says, I never said that, the jig is up. The jig is up. She's caught lying. Whitney, to me, is a very dangerous, jealous, narcissistic, weird person. She's a weirdo. And her obsession with Lisa Barlow is psychotic and really, 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 really scary. And she's also a hypocrite. She's like, why, Lisa, you're coming from my brand, my business, my reputation, says the girl who, for the last 5 seasons, has said Lisa Barlow has had sex for funding for her vodka line, has had sex for distribution of her vodka line, is giving blowies for some type of jazz tickets. Like, you have consecutively come, and then you even got Meredith Marks was in there talking about SEC filings. Like, you have continuously come for Lisa Barlow's business and family, saying that she's sleeping with men for money and to help her business and to get, social standing. You've come for her repeatedly. Those are actual scandals. Those are actual betrayals. Saying somebody is sleeping with people for business favors and money, that's actually a scandal. Saying that you're, basically being an influencer and you're just throwing your name on some Alibaba jewelry isn't really that big of a scandal or a shocker, to be perfectly honest. It's scary. It's absolutely scary. So if Lisa Barlow isn't behind the quote betrayal, leaking of it, who is? Who is? Let's hear it from Dana Wilkey, what she had to say. And then I want you guys to weigh in on who you think it is. And then I will let you guys know who I think it is. But I think it's pretty obvious based on what Dana said. Okay, here we go.
Rose pressured Adam before he could get a hold of me to tell him what she wanted to hear on the show. And Adam rolled with it, I'm gathering, because nobody else released the Alibaba gossip except for me. And that's because the person picked me very intentionally that actually wanted to call out Whitney Rose's business. Now, I know today you are dying for me to tell you who I think this cast member is. Why do I say think? Well, because this cast member tried to use a Finsta account to do it, but they did it in a way that I know who it is. The plot thickens. This person was very angry behind the scenes at what Whitney Rose did on the show to them after they were so close. This person has ties to staff members that gossip and are known to gossip. And this cast member is the best researcher of gossip out of the whole cast. And that is saying something that I admire and respect them. And I know this firsthand. And this person is very strategic how they deliver information on the show and when to deliver information on the show that usually helps with iconic scenes and storylines. And is the person that you would least likely expect to drop this tea. And if you can figure out who it is, then you just got the information that you listened.
I mean, was it Heather? Was it Heather Gay who did this to Whitney? I mean, based on what Dana Wilkey said, to me, it sounded like she was, that was very Heather Gay coded to me. Seemed like it was Heather. Where I personally land on this is I don't care. And I don't care because I think whatever karma Whitney gets, Whitney deserves. She has stacked up and she has earned every single bit of karma that she gets. She has been mean. She has been vindictive. She has been a perpetual liar. She gets pleasure out of hurting people, which is really weird and sick. And I just think that whatever comes Whitney way, she deserves when it comes to all of this stuff. She has strategically gone against every single person on that cast with, snake-like, demon-like behavior, to be perfectly honest. So I honestly don't care. And again, this isn't some scandal. This isn't some big betrayal. This is literally just a jewelry website in Alibaba with matching photos of the same exact jewelry because she's just white labeling her jewelry. That's not a scandal. It's only a scandal because she's denying it. Now you're a fraud. And because you're denying it, that makes you a fraud. And that's why it's a scandal. That is why it is a scandal. Because once you lie and deny, then you become a fraud. So girl. But yeah, I mean, listen, Whitney Rose, you need to just go ahead and just admit you lied about the whole situation because you were trying to do damage control because Adam and Jason, and this came straight from Adam's mouth himself. You can go on his YouTube channel and watch it. He said this out of his own mouth. I just watched it. He said him and his husband gave Whitney the heads up that Dana Wilkey was going to leak this information. And when he did that, Whitney said, "Oh, it has to be Lisa. It has to be Lisa. Get the information, get the proof." And there was no proof. And so she went on the show and lied through her teeth, saying that it was true and it was verified. And then she had to call Adam and beg him to call her on the phone to get that clip. But all that happened after she had already blamed it on Lisa. And now Adam's trying to blame editing. But it's like, no, you were in cahoots with her. You just got caught and you're not built for this and you're not built for the smoke. So now you're trying to get out of it. But you were just as guilty as her, because if you weren't, why would you lie on the phone call? Because you did. Oh, it was someone in your circle with a tequila that owns a liquor brand. The only person who owns a liquor brand is Lisa. So you were in on it just as much as Whitney was. If you weren't, you would have said, "Sorry, I can't say that because it's not true." Now, listen. Listen, 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 listen. I also think that if it was Heather who did it, I'm not mad at her. But I'm not. I'm not mad. If Heather did it, good for Heather. Like, whatever. Whitney is just too conniving and too evil. It is what it is. All right. So, as always, I want to know what you guys think. So, before we head on to just a recap of the season, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Da, 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 da. All right. Now, so should we do a recap of the episode, or should we talk about, let's just do a recap of the episode. Let's do that. Okay. So here are the ladies, and I'll just give a rundown of what I think and what I think is going on with everyone, okay? All right. Now, let's start with Whitney. We just did a deep dive on how she got exposed and caught for basically lying on Lisa Barlow, in cahoots with Up and Adam, and fabricated this whole conversation about her allegedly spilling the tea that Whitney was allegedly, because people like to sue people. So if I say allegedly a lot, I apologize. Selling Alibaba jewelry at a huge, huge markup. And as we now know, Dana Wilkey, who broke the story, said that that's not true. It is a lie, and basically said Adam got pressured into lying for Whitney, and now Adam's trying to back out of it. And basically alluded to the fact that it was actually Heather who leaked the information to her. Now, what else I want to say about Whitney is this. I think this needs to be her last season, because she is hard to listen to and is extremely hard to watch. Like, I don't know what is going on with her, but she has this way. She's like the Lisa Rinna of the series. She has this way of just making up lies, repeating it as if it's true, and then also recruiting people to be her little henchmen. Like Angie is her little henchman. Bronwyn is her little henchman. Who else is her little henchman? Those are really like her little henchmen. And it's just like, why and how? I'm tired of Whitney. I'm tired of her husband. Like, why is he getting in the mix in the drama? Like, why is he texting that weird Jarrett guy to come? Why is he getting into Lisa Barlow's face and swearing at her? I was just like, John, if you don't, step to this dude and get him. I was so proud of John Barlow. He was like, don't swear at my wife. I was like, yes, John, go. Like, why is he getting in the women's business? Like, don't you have a job, or did you get fired again? You know what I mean? Like, why is he all up in people's business? Like, I need him to have several seats. I just feel like Whitney's whole life is a lie. I feel like, it's just all weird with Whitney. That's where I land with her. Angie, to me, Angie is tired and boring. Again, I think that this could be her last season. I'm tired of Angie just being a mouthpiece and literally having like zero brain cells in her head that to think for herself. She just sounds like a wind-up doll. She's clearly regurgitating everything that Whitney is saying back out and then going after Lisa. And let this be a cautionary tale to everyone, but particularly the ladies out there. when you are a Lisa Barlow type girl, you're just kind of like that girl. Don't befriend women who feel less than you, because the moment they get the opportunity to stab you in the back, the moment they get the opportunity to throw you under the bus, they will do it. They will do it. That's why you see Angie just blindly believing everything Whitney is saying about Lisa, twisting things when Lisa is just like, "What is your problem? Like, I thought we were friends. Like, what is going on here?" And Angie, you did say Lisa was a bad mom, saying that she just like lets her son play video games and all this other stuff. And Lisa didn't say anything about your parenting skills. She said when you want to get off the phone, you use the excuse of Electra to get off the phone. That is not a commentary on how you parent or you being a mother. Again, your one brain cell is firing off because you don't even understand that. It's apples to oranges. She wasn't talking about you being a mother. She could have said, "Oh, when you want to get off the phone, you say, 'Oh, I have to go pee really bad.'" That's the excuse you use. Same difference. You actually went and talked about her as a mother. Two different conversations. Two totally different ways to disrespect someone. So, girl, bye. Miss me with that. Also, Angie, I think it's weird that you're leaning into the mafia stuff. I thought the mafia theme was tired and lame and just bizarre to me. I'm also confused as to why your husband is still so in his feelings about Meredith. "I don't want her in this house. I don't ever want to see her again." Like, buck up, buddy. Who cares? And first of all, it wasn't even Meredith who said those rumors. As we all know, it was Monica who spread the rumors, and it was Monica who brought it to the show. I'm still confused why Angie doesn't actually understand that. Like, did she not get the memo that it was actually Monica who said it, and it was Monica who said it on camera, and it was Monica who brought it to the show? Like, did Angie just forget that? Why is she still so mad and angry at Meredith for what Monica did? I don't understand Angie. And her weird, Tweedledee and Tweedledum friendship with Mary, that's really bizarre to me too. I don't know. I just don't check for Angie. I think she's boring. I think she's tired. And I think that she does herself a disservice by being Whitney's mouthpiece. I think if she just would think for herself and have her own opinion on things, then maybe she would actually be more interesting to me. But if all you're going to do is just sit there and yell at Lisa Barlow for breathing next, like we already have that with Whitney. We don't really need that with you. And I feel like Angie K kind of morphs into the personality of the alpha girl in the room that she's into. Because when Angie Harrington was on the show, to me, Angie Harrington and Angie K were the same person. It's just that Angie K never talked. And now that she's talking, she just sounds like Whitney. So it's just really weird and really, really whack to me. Like, it's just weird and bizarre. I don't really see it for Angie like that, to be perfectly honest. Be perfectly honestly with you. Um, yeah, that's pretty much where I land with Angie on it. She can miss me with it. Now let's talk about Bronwyn. What do you guys think about her? Are we liking her as a new housewife? What do we think? I don't like her. I don't mean to be like, I don't like any of these people. I don't mean it that way. But I'll tell you why she's not working for me. I've seen some, headlines, "Oh, it's great, she's good." Not for me. And I'll tell you why she doesn't work for me. She doesn't work for me because she has, and which happens a lot, I think that she is fronting. I think Heather is spot on with her read of Bronwyn. Bronwyn is very two-faced and she's fronting. She's acting like she's some very cool, confident, down to earth, cool girl. But to me, she has a insecure, nervous energy to her. I think a part of it is it's her first year, that first year nervous energy. And also a part of it is I think that she never grew out of imposter syndrome, that she doesn't belong where she is, which happens a lot when people maybe marry into money like she did. I feels like I even though she's in her 40s or about to be, I don't know how old she is. Let's just say she's in her 40s. She's in her 40s. She's been married to this man with all this money for 10 years. She's a mother. She has the status X, Y, and Z. As we know, none of that can replace how you feel on the inside about yourself. And the reason why I think that she still thinks that she doesn't belong where she belongs is because she constantly brings it up. When she's on the show, she's like, everybody said I wasn't pretty enough to be a trophy wife. And then every other sentence, her whole personality is how much money her husband has, how much money she spends on things, and how old her husband is. Oh, he has gout. I wasn't alive when he did this in his life. His son is older than me. He hates it when I say that. And it's just like your whole personality is basically just how old and rich your husband is and how nobody thought you were cute enough to be with him. And she's like, but we're still 10 years strong. And I'm like, that's not like cute to me. And like, oh, this jacket, there's only three in the world, and this is couture, and this painting is $1 gazillion. Like, show me, don't tell me that you have money. Show me, don't tell me that you have the fashions and the look. Show me, don't tell me that you are that girl. That's why Lisa Barlow can wear sweatpants and still be that girl. It's an energetic thing. It's an aura. That girls are born, they're not made. You can glow up, but unless you have that thing about you, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to be that girl. You can still be confident and secure, but that girl, that's an energy type deal. And she doesn't have it. And that's okay. She doesn't have to have it, but she's acting like she does when she doesn't. And I think she's deeply insecure. And also, what I hate is when when a newbie comes in and the first thing they do is flip on the girl, on the other person who brought them in the group. Automatic, don't like them. The first thing Bronwyn did was flip. First thing. Now she's best friends with Whitney Rose. Now she's best friends with Angie. And this is how you know Bronwyn really ain't nothing. So the whole situation when Heather and Angie were having the conversation about Lisa, and Angie was bad mouthing Lisa about her parenting and saying she was a bad mother, right? Then Lisa goes to, who does Lisa confide in about this? Does she confide in Bronwyn, I think? Yeah, so she confides in Bronwyn about it. And then Bronwyn goes to Mary, I think, and talks to Mary about it. And then says, oh, Angie needs to know this. She needs to know that Heather is saying this about her. It's, it's my job to go tell Angie that Lisa told Heather what she said. What? What? To parrot Heather, what in the effery is going on? And then she goes up to Angie and she says, and this is how I know Whitney, Angie, and Bronwyn all have an alliance because they talked in code, but it's obvious. She goes, we're honest with each other, right? Which is code for we have each other's back and we already told each other that we're going to look out for each other. So why are you having Angie's back, looking out for Angie? You don't really care about Lisa and what's going on with her and how she's feeling hurt. Her son is sick in a different country. She can't even go visit him. Then you have Angie backstabbing her and talking about her parenting. But the person that you are concerned about is Angie, who just told your friend, your good girlfriend, allegedly, that she's a bad mother. You didn't say to Angie, hey, that was a low blow. You know Lisa is struggling because Jack is sick. You do know that the comparison between calling her a bad mother and saying that you have an excuse to get off the phone is not the same thing. Hey, what you said to my friend Lisa was wrong. Maybe you should apologize. That wasn't your first instinct, but your first instinct was to make sure Angie had the heads up. But you want to tell me that you did not come on this show with an agenda. You want to tell me that you actually are not so intimidated and insecure by the presence of Lisa Barlow that the moment you had half a chance to stab her in the back, you stabbed her twice. Because since you set foot on this show, you have been doing nothing but dogging out Lisa and dogging out Heather. And who hates Lisa and Heather? Whitney. Because I don't care what you say, Whitney and Heather hate each other. I don't buy this. We're cousins. No, I think it's all surface, all fake. I think they used to really have a friendship. I think they used to really be there for each other. But I think when Heather started loving herself and Heather started speaking up for herself, Whitney didn't like that. Whitney didn't like it. When Heather found her voice, she didn't like it. And I also think that Heather didn't like it when Whitney dropped her for Lisa, because Whitney and Lisa got close. She literally said to Heather, "We need to take a friendship break," because she wanted to go be friends with Lisa. And then Lisa became friends with Heather, and then Whitney didn't like it. I mean, it sounds like they're fighting over a man. How deep they're going with this. I need to take a break from you because I want to go be friends with her. I think they just have a hate for each other. You know what I'm saying? I think it's there. Um, but Bronwyn to me also reminds me of like a theater kid. Like she's just extra. She's always dramatic. She delivers her lines in a nervous way, like she's like trying to remember them, but like in a quirky, weird way. Like, oh, Angie, I heard you talked about Lisa's mothering. Is that what I heard? I want to get the story right. Like that's how Bronwyn talks. She's like, okay, let's go get some lattes, guys, and then we're gonna go to Fendi and do some shopping with my old husband's credit card. Like, what? Like, what in the hell? Like, talk normal, Bronwyn. She just reminds me of a theater kid. I don't think she's found her footing. And personally, I'm not really here for her. I know a lot of people online are like, oh, Bronwyn's great, blah, 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 blah. I'm personally not one of them. I think that she showed us who she is. And also, you're just Whitney's mouthpiece because everything you're saying is just a regurgitation of what Whitney told you. Because like I don't know if you guys watched the after show, but I would highly suggest watch the after show on Peacock because it gives such good insight and you can see that like we are right about all of the alliances and everything going on. So definitely watch the after show. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, Lisa. Lisa's my girl. Love her. Obviously, she did not send the information to Dana Wilkey about Whitney Rose's jewelry line. That has been debunked and cleared up and all of that stuff. My note for Lisa, because I do love her, I do think she's that girl, but my note for her is similar to a note I had for her last season, which was she needs to relax into being that girl. Like at the end, like at this episode, I was like screaming at the TV because she was getting so angry and was like, I'm gonna call my cybersecurity person and I'm gonna send you the bill and she was like yelling and all this stuff. And I get it. In the moment you're pissed, there's a history of this woman coming at you and lying at you and lying on you. And like, and like, I get it. Somebody is sitting and playing in your face and lying in your face. And Whitney stood there and lied dead to her face with a straight face like it was nothing. That's a dangerous, scary person. Whitney was lying through her teeth. And Adam told it. He was like, yeah, she called me and said we had to, and asked me to call so they could get the shot for continuity, which means that when, what's her name? Whitney was saying to Lisa, oh, we have proofs that people verified it. She was lying because they hadn't even shot that scene yet. They shot it after and went back and inserted it to make it look like it happened before it did. To make the story be in sequence. Up and Adam said it. It's on his channel. You guys can watch it. I'm not making it up. He said she called and said we need to shoot it for continuity. And Dana Wilkey said it too. that she believes Whitney called Adam, pressured him into saying what she needed him to say about Lisa, and he folded, and he did, and now he clearly regrets it because it's obvious that Whitney and Adam were lying. Okay? So I get it, Lisa. I would want to. I get it. I would want to Molly Whopper. I would want to. I get it. However, you gotta stop letting these little chicken heads get under your skin. The way you win that is to pay them dust. You can still say what you want to say, but the energy that you say it in, the composure you have needs to be all the way 0 F's given. Like, Lisa, you are that girl. Just like Angie said, you've had a problem with all these women because all of these women have been jealous of you. Whether you like Lisa Barlow or not, that is undeniable. That these women have all gone after her simply because they feel some type of way about how much confidence she has in herself. That is undeniable. It's undeniable. It's not even up for debate. Whether you like her or not, that's the facts. Watch the show. So remember that. Because when you're in that moment and you were that girl, I would look at Whitney and I would be like, oh, really? Wow, that's really funny. You know what? I have a really great guy in cybersecurity. Let me do you a favor. I'm going to hire him to get to the bottom of this. Because you know what, Whit? I am a woman who supports women, and I really want to get to the bottom of this. So let me call my cybersecurity guy. So let me know, what was the name of the podcaster? What was the name of the person who told you this? Can you just send me everything? I just want to have all the information, and we are going to get to the bottom of this. I'm so concerned that this is happening to you. I'm flattered that you think that I would do it. That's how I would play it. Because the problem is when they get under Lisa's skin and she pops off and she yells, very similar to the situation with Shannon Bedore and a Tamara Judge. When they're all out to dinner and Tamara says something that is so horrible and such a lie and just so mean and evil. And then Shannon just, yells and screams and she leaves and she gets up and goes to the bathroom and stomps off. And then she's pouting for us of the night. It's like, ugh. If you would just take a break, just take a beat, count to 10, compose yourself, and then methodically read these evil witches for filth, you would win the scene and you would win the day. Because at the end of the day, you're going to win because you're the one telling the truth. That's why Shannon is winning on the OC and we all want Tamara fired. That's why Lisa, like her or not, she's winning this on Salt Lake City because it's exposed that Whitney was lying. So even if you like Whitney, you have to admit she is a liar and she was trying to set up Lisa. And we're not making this up. This came from Dana and Adam. And we have the screenshots. And in the after show, they even talk about it. Meredith even said that the podcaster, she was talking about Dana, called her and said it wasn't Lisa. She said Adam even called her and said it wasn't Lisa. So it's obvious, and that Adam even told Whitney it wasn't Lisa. So even if you like Whitney, you have to admit she purposely lied. Even if you don't like Lisa, you have to admit she was being set up. Those are the facts. So my note to Lisa is, do not let these people like an Angie or a Whitney or a Bronwyn knock you off your position. Because they keep coming at her, And that's why I'm loving, I'll talk about Meredith now, I'm loving the Lisa and Meredith friendship. Like the way they started the show, how close they were. They are a vibe. They're a vibe. And I also love the Lisa and Heather friendship. They're a vibe too. And I love that they're not falling for the okie doke. Like they've all wised up at least after the whole Monica situation. I think Meredith really wised up and is very appreciative to Lisa because Lisa didn't throw her under the bus. She gave her the benefit of the doubt and was really there for her during the whole Monica situation when Monica was trying to take down Meredith to use Meredith to take everybody else down. And I love that they made the pact to, if somebody tries to come between us, we come to each other and we talk first. We don't just blindly believe them. And then we've seen throughout this season, time and time again, Whitney, Angie, even Bronwyn going to Meredith, trying to talk her against Lisa. Then you had Angie going to Heather, trying to talk Heather against Lisa. And then she got pissed when Heather said, "You're actually the person who's in the wrong here, and you're coming after Lisa. You've changed the dynamics of your friendship. You no longer have Lisa's back, but you're not actually telling her why." And that is true. Angie, to me, clearly chose to be aligned with Whitney. And all Whitney has tunnel vision is, I hate Lisa, I hate Lisa, I hate Lisa. That's basically her affirmation of the day. It's sick and bizarre and obsessed. And unless you join that I hate Lisa train, those girls aren't checking for you. Bronwyn is on the I hate Lisa train. Whitney. Mary, to me, Mary's a bit of just. Let's talk about Mary. One, I want to say it's very refreshing that Mary is really opening up this season. I actually really like Mary now that she's opening up and is being more of a human being. Like, she's talking about her son and his struggles with drugs. I know he's in rehab now, sending lots of prayers and hope he gets better, because on camera he's clearly whacked out of his mind. And she's basically like, well, better to have him home than like out on the street. Read between those lines. She's like, at least if he's home, I can be here to help him if something happens, versus if he's just out there on the street doing what he's doing. I think that my heart goes out to any any person, but especially a parent who has a child with an addiction. That has to be really, really hard. So my heart goes out to Mary for that. I'm also liking that she's opening up about her family life, about how like her mother, who clearly had some mental health issues, because there's no way that you have money and means, but you choose not to feed your children. That's either evil or a mental health issue or something going on there, because she was saying how her mother would think of herself first. They had all this money and they didn't have any food. Like, they had like cabbage or something, she said. And so now you see why Mary is the way she is, why she's a hoarder, why she enables her son, all of these things because of what happened to her in her own childhood. So it was refreshing to have her talk about those things and how her son never met any of his grandparents, except for, I didn't want to say it, but it's like his dad is his step great grandparent. So maybe that's why he didn't want to go to school on Grandparents' Day, because he would have to bring his father on Father's Day and his father on Grandparents' Day too. So Mary, let's keep it all the way funky and real. Maybe he wanted to stay home on Grandparents' Day because his father is also his step grandfather. Just throwing it out there. Kids can be cruel. Kids can be cruel. But I'm really loving Mary. Where I don't agree with her is, I don't know, why is she going so hard for Heather? Like, is it just because Whitney and Angie don't like Heather, really? And so she's just like, well, I'm friends with Angie, so let me just go after Heather? Like, I don't know why she's going so hard for Heather. Heather, your lies, and you, like, what happened? Like, I'm confused. Like, Mary has always been mean to Heather, but this is a different type of mean. Usually she's just shading Heather. You look inbred. You don't look good. Do they make it in your size? Usually she's just like shading her, but the way she's going at her is different. Like calling her a liar and two-faced and all this stuff. I don't know where all that's coming from. Like, I think, I'm not saying Heather is perfect. I think Heather does her job. She will go, she will stir the pot, she will, do what she has to do, but not more so than anybody else, or not even in a very diabolical way either. So I'm not sure why Mary is coming so hard for Heather. I'm a little confused on that one. I'm bummed that there's going to be a Mary and Meredith fallout. My guess is because she's so close to Angie, that there's going to come a point where maybe Angie and Meredith have another thing or something. And we all know how Angie hates Meredith. So maybe it's like you know what, like I'm just gonna ride for Angie no matter what, and I'm just gonna ride with her. And so I'm gonna beef with who she beefs with because this is my girl. That's what the only thing I can think of. Because why would Meredith and Mary have a falling out when they've always had a really good relationship? So we'll see. We'll see with that. Who else is there? I like Meredith on the show. She seems more of a friend of than full time. And they've done that for the last couple of seasons with Meredith, where she's full time, but she like doesn't get a lot of screen time. But I like her though. I do. And I like her friendship with Heather. I like her friendship with Lisa. I like her vibe. I like Meredith kind of like minds her business and just sort of like comes in and says stuff. Like she's not really bothering anybody. I like that she beefs with Whitney and like doesn't let Whitney, you know, boss her around or tell her what to do or gaslight her. So I'm living for that. Um, Brittany. Let's talk about Brittany. Brittany. I'm tired of Brittany. I'm super confused at what is going on. What am I looking at on my screen? You guys need to listen to the after show. She was saying how, and this is the thing though, like she's crying about Jared all the time, but apparently her and Jared would be together, then they would break up, and then both of them would just be like on Tinder, on Plenty of Fish. What are the other things? I don't know, just like on dating apps. And then they both would go out and like have sex and date and all these people in between and then go back to each other. Which again, there's nothing wrong. If you are single and you're ready to mingle and you want to go out there and you want to have fun and you want to dip it and do it as long as you're safe and consenting, knock yourself all the way out. I only say that to say this. Why did Brittany act like Jared was the absolute love of her life? He was the only one and he was so crazy. When the truth is, they both are just playing toxic, twisted games with each other. That's pretty much what it was, just sick and twisted and toxic. And the gag is, it sounds like she's still in love with him, but they're surprised not together because she caught him cheating on her again. Like, just let it go. And the whole thing with like Whitney's husband texting him and he just so happened to be like dressed up for the mafia party, like, and then her being like, oh, I wanted this grand gesture. Why did you come here crying? And I was like, Brittany, he didn't come for you. He came for the cameras. He didn't come here to win you back. He came here to get some camera time. He came he came for the cameras. What you talking about? He didn't come for you. He didn't even look at you. He was like, all right, well, you got a date. Let's go. Let's go back inside. Get some let's get some wine. Let's go back inside. He didn't come for you. He didn't have a present. He didn't have a rose. He didn't have anything. He was like, I'm not here to mess up your date. He was there to get camera time. That is why he was there. He's there for the show. That's why he's there, sweetheart. I'm tired of Brittany. I don't really think. I mean, Brittany would be. Does she have a tagline? I don't even know. If she does, I don't even know. But she can be a friend of and be filler. But like to actually follow her, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not here for it. Mm-mm. Not here for it. So I think that was everybody, right? Let's see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like where the season goes and like what like any new alliances, anything being exposed. It seems like I wonder if Whitney's going to be exposed on the show for having blatantly lied and tried to set up Lisa for this. I don't know if it's one of those things where they just ride out the season and it's like who do you believe and they don't know until the end. So I want to know what happens with that and what happens with all the ladies. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I want to see how it goes. Again, I don't like Bronwyn. She can leave. Angie can leave. Brittany can be a friend of. Whitney can leave. But I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna see what it needs to see what it's gonna do. So yeah, you guys, as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's see. We talked about the jewelry. Do we want to talk about Angie and Lisa? Nah, I'm tired. I'm gonna drop the link, take my candy cane questions and comments, and if anybody wants to come up and chill, you can. And if not, no worries. I'm gonna take your questions and comments. Hey, Tay Tay. Tay Tay says, hi, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. He says, Team Lisa Barlow. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Johnny. What's up? He goes, I'm on Lisa's side. Whitney is the one who needs to pipe down. That part. Hey, Cancer Queen. Hey, Candy. I'm Team Lisa, but I love Mary. Was reading Heather. Oop. Hey, from Enthusiast Candy. I miss your incredibly balanced and well-informed opinions. Say it like it is, girl. Thank you. Hey, Nataski, says Whitney thinks she's so clever. I know. Evenness. Exactly. Hey, Joanny, says I said the thing Whitney could be a great housewife if she wasn't worried about Lisa. You know what? I actually agree with you on that. I do think that Whitney would be so much better if she would just mind her business and stop being a liar and stop forcing things that don't exist or don't make sense. Hey, sweetheart, you want to sound off, Johnny?
Hey, I do. I'm gonna try to be quick because I am with a client, and yeah, I'm gonna be quick.
Okay.
All right. So Lisa, I know you said she needs to calm down, but I'm really happy she is giving it to them because she was being nice to them for the first few seasons. Like she was being so polite, nice, but they kept
Mm-hmm.
putting this narrative, oh, Lisa's this, Lisa's that, Lisa's all that. But it's like, okay, she was trying to be nice. She was calling y'all pretty. She was trying to give y'all shine, but y'all keep talking about her. So not give them what they want. So I'm here for it. Um, when it comes to Whitney, she's jealous, like always. She's always worried about Lisa. Everything is strategic with her. I don't think she has a real friend on the show. Who else? Who else? Who else? Um, I'm liking Mary, of course. I feel like she's just trying to balance out the cast with all the chaos that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Meredith, she's giving, like you said, she is giving friend of the show. But I am liking Meredith and how she's sticking up with Lisa like she was in season one. Now these are my hot takes when it comes to this panel, but
Yeah.
I don't like Heather. I do think Heather is doing this not the same thing as Whitney, but in a different way. And I think she's just doing it in like an insecure. I think she's kind of insecure still, based off of past transgressions. And I just think she just needs to like be authentic. I don't know, something about her just not authentic to me per se. And I do like Bronwyn. I do think it's first season jitters with her, and she does give like she's wearing a mask. But I do think as time would go on, she would be more comfortable with herself. And then Angie, I do like Angie. And the only reason I like Angie is because I feel like she she tries to be nice, but she get this lapdog thing with her, and everybody just push her around. So she kind of now she's trying to like break out into her own. And the first time Angie was on the screen, she had like a drink dumped on her and Jen telling her like cussing her out and stuff. So after she after she like was cussing out Jen, I was always team Angie because I feel like none of the other girls would do that. So that's why I like Angie. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Brittany can go. I'm tired of her and the Jerry stuff. She can go.
I agree. She can definitely go. It's played out. Nobody wants to watch a middle-aged woman run around after a man who's using her for sex. Like that just no, that's not on anybody's bingo card for 2025. Like no. No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I don't know. She's too old for that. Like I'm on my 20s. I don't run after nobody.
Samesies. Not for nobody.
But I will say Lisa is the best person on this show. Like I love her down. Like Lisa, like I
And,
said, she
and plus, without Lisa, none of these people really have storylines.
right. Cause just think about it. Like Lisa was nice to these women. Like
Hmm.
they she it was the whole Angie age, and then it was all the stuff about her SEC filing and all this
Mhm.
other stuff, and she went on one rant, and they was on her for that. Like this one rant that she did because they kept being on her, and she's just trying to have everybody back. She's trying to have Jen back, trying to have Meredith back, have everybody back, but it was never enough. So that's why I was like, okay, this is what they want. Give it to them. Period.
See, the thing is, I agree with not letting them slide. Like, yes, give it to them, but I think when you get unhinged, that's when you lose it. So like instead of like her like yelling and screaming and going all over the place, she can still give it good and really get them. Sort of like, you know how like Wendy Williams would read somebody down just sitting in a
Yeah,
purple chair and she would just read you for filth, sitting in her purple chair just like it was nothing. That's what I want Lisa to do. I want her to read the women down for filth without breaking a sweat. Because when she starts to bake the sweat, that's actually what they want. They want to get her out of character and out of pocket to be like, oh, see, Lisa's responding like this, blah, blah. It's like when people try to bully you or trigger you and they keep picking at you and picking at you and picking at you. And then when you finally pop off, they're like, oh, see, you're angry. But you can pop off in a way that you do it where it's controlled, but you're still reading a chick down. And that's what I want for Lisa. I want her to own that she is that girl. And that's why they keep coming at her and coming at her even though they miss every single time and she's still that girl. I want her to stay in that and still read him down for filth. Don't give him a pass, but hold on
yeah,
to that composure to like get him. Like a Nene, like Nene will read you down for filth, but she's not getting, not all the time, but you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Like
that's what I
Mimi
mean.
from that reunion when she really didn't say no words.
Exactly. She was like, all she said was, I said what I said. Point that energy where it's just like you just sit there and you're just like, oh, really? Well, how about we do it this dun 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 dun, and you say what you say, but you say it in such a way where you're snatching edges, but you're not getting out of your character. That's what
Yeah,
I that's what I want for Lisa because she's that girl. She doesn't need to get out of her character, but they want her to in order for themselves to feel better about themselves because they have
yeah,
such low self-esteem.
yeah. You're right. I don't say cut, but I know she's not
I
gonna do it
agree.
because she's about to
I
snatch them
agree.
glasses off of
But I
Whitney later
agree.
on.
But I agree. She needs to gather the girls and she needs to snatch some edges up because they keep playing with her. And
Yeah,
they need to stop playing with her. I agree.
yeah, I do. I need to stop playing with her. Like, leave Lisa alone. She just wants to drink her Diet Coke and go to fast food restaurants. Like, please.
Exactly. Like, can she live? Like, leave her alone.
But
Hmm.
yeah, that's all I had to say. I have to go back to work. I wish I could stay
Oh,
up here longer. If y'all
okay.
still up here, I might join back up. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm sleepy tonight too, so I won't be up for too much longer. So I'm happy
All
you were able to
right.
come up and share.
I'm gonna be with y'all on Potomac next week, and I'm gonna try to get to New York with y'all next week.
Yay! Anytime, anytime we're live and you want to come up, come on up. You're always welcome.
All right.
All right, I'll see you. Hey, I'm Jella. Says, hey, Candy Moz in chat, tuning in from NorCal. I'm not a fan of Whitney's, but I am Team Whitney on this one. Haley says, I believe it is Heather because she never forgave what Heather did to her season 13 when she said that Heather told her whoa, yeah, I got what you're saying. Lisa did for jazz tickets. Yep. From Enthusiast says, I don't trust bloggers with personal relationship with housewives, the Jen Aiden of it all. Oop. I hear that. Hey, Jacob, you want to share?
Hey, I mean, all I really gotta say is that all these girls are haters. They are they're all a bunch of haters of Lisa. Is what it is. Like
100%.
I'm just like, oh my god, like please stop. And like we were saying yesterday, Candy, how well I was saying that
Yeah.
I think that producers that again the fact that they allowed this to air this nonsense of a
Mhm.
storyline. I'm like, you guys have it out for Lisa too. But how funny that the cast can gang up on Lisa with production's help, and it still doesn't work. And Lisa still is the one where we can clearly see what's going on. How sad is that for the rest of these girls? Like they keep trying it and they have all the help in the world, but no, they gotta stop.
I agree 100%. Like they do, and like you're right about production, because why did production agree to shoot the Adam scene for quote continuity, knowing it was
Right.
shot after Whitney lied on Lisa, and then they go back and insert it? That's production being messy as hell.
You know, it helps to make a storyline for the show, sure, but
Yeah,
I'm just like, I mean, why is the story always ganging up on Lisa? That's always the story.
always a story.
Mm-mm-mm.
Always. Poor Lisa, but I love her so much.
Right, yeah, she can handle it, but I'm just like, but I don't know though, because as the seasons go on, it does seem like she gets more irate,
That's what
and
I'm saying.
I'm like, oh no,
Because
like
she's
this.
sick of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, she is sick of it. Like when she was screaming, I was like, oh, I was like, Lisa,
I liked
bring it
it.
down. But no, how could you bring it down when this is the 5th year
It's too
Mhm.
of
much.
craziness?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that.
She was like, I'm
Whitney
going to call my
came out
lawyer.
lying. Yeah,
She's like, I'm going to call my lawyer, the police, the governor. I'm calling everyone. We're
police.
not doing this. This is going to stop now. Like, what are you going to do about it? Is your story going to hold up? Doubt it. Let's do this.
Yep. And it's with Whitney again. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
told you
Right? It's exhausting.
yesterday. I told you yesterday, Candy, how I have a friend who's watching the show for the first time, and so when we were watching the first episode, Whitney's very first scene, she's talking about Elisa donated some bartenders and they trashed my house, and I'm like, Whitney, did they though?
Nope.
I'm
Like
just,
now I'm going back and I'm like, Whitney's been at it since the first episode.
Nope. I have the answer. I have the answer to that. So if you watched the after show, Lisa talks about that point directly. She says that how Whitney lied on her and her like employees, and it turned out that it was actually Whitney's friends who trashed the house when they were like asking Whitney to like strip and do everything and go on the stripper pole. It was her friends who trashed her house, and Lisa was like, "There's video of it." So Whitney even then out the gate was lying on Lisa in her business, trying to trash her out the gate, and she was lying. And Lisa's like, "I have the video of it. It was Whitney's friends. They were all drinking, taking shots." And wanting to like strip and do everything. Because remember season 1, they were always stripping.
ew, yeah.
It was like swinger parties type deals.
God.
It was her friends who trashed the house, and Lisa told it and said that there's video of it.
You'd
I
think
gotta
she'd
watch
give
that.
up by now. Like,
Mhm.
this is like, you fail miserably every single time, Whitney, and you just embarrass yourself and you look more and more not credible. It's embarrassing. You'd think you'd stop by now. Like, it doesn't work. Like, you're bad at it too. Like, you're not as clever as you think you are. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. You're really not. That's what bugs me. She thinks she's so clever. She's like, I got her. And she's like smirking and so excited. And it's just like, wah, wah, wah. Like,
Yeah,
literally
never.
everything is on her side. The cast, the producer still doesn't work. That's how bad at it you are. You have everything on your side and you still fail.
Well, because they don't have the truth on their side. That's
Period. Period.
truth in the light. Hey, Adam.
Truth in the
Hi.
yeah.
I wish you could see my face. I was like, had like, I was getting into it just then. Adam, are you
Oh.
there?
Yeah, I just hopped in. I didn't know
Oh,
what I hopped
hi.
into. I didn't know what I hopped into. I just heard the story and I missed it.
I was like,
What?
"Brr." Oh yeah, I don't know what that was.
Your words. What did you say?
Adam, are
Sorry.
you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
I'm good. So I finished the episode literally just an hour ago because
Mhm.
so it's kind of all fresh.
Okay.
I can't with this woman with this flaky guy, whatever his name is, the Osmond is it or something. Like why is she on our screens? Like she needs to just go. Like and as we all know, Grandad Rose's wife's plan failed. You're gonna get your source from a neutralist podcaster, and then you're not even gonna have the decency to upfront Lisa and tell her who your source is. That just goes to show you how conniving and calculated, but a miserable failure Whitney is.
Wait, you guys, and now I'm not trying to be mean, and I normally don't comment on people's like looks, but sometimes I just like can't help it because it's just like all I see, and it drives me nuts. But whenever I look at I almost said Miss Whitney's husband, doesn't it look like the human version of what you would picture Miss Piggy's brother would look like?
What in the world?
I'm not touching that comment.
No, I mean, to me, he's like Chris Bassett's dad. Like, he just looks like a hobo to me.
Like, it just gives me that.
I've seen old photos of them,
but with like love and peace and love, of course. Like,
I
think everyone looks like an animal to like, you know, make it less mean.
I mean, I mean, like, put it this way, he's not. He's not on any magazine covers, put it that way. He's not good enough for that.
I think he got work done on his face, actually.
It does look like that.
Old photos on, I remember on his Instagram, there used to be old photos of him and Whitney, and I remember looking at them, and I was like, who are these people? And Whitney looked completely different.
Completely.
She looked so different. She actually, I don't know, Meredith looks different from season 1. I was like, whoa, because I just watched, and I was like, well, she looks very different. These people got to stop, because they're pretty. They're very pretty.
Oh, Natasha, you missed it last night. Jacob was like the CIA agent with New York. Like, he knew everything. Like, he was going on.
Oh, really?
He was like revealing the details.
All I know is about this show. I know why Mary's clocking in, and it's because her house is on the pre-foreclosure list.
Yep.
Oh, so she's showing up for work now.
Yeah, because she has no choice unless she wants to get that house taken from underneath her.
I mean, to me...
Oh, go ahead.
To me, so far, I like Meredith, don't get me wrong, but the producers like are not throwing her in like the good moments to be on us. They're not like rating her or something. Like, to me, the most enjoyable moments has been Lisa spelling it out to everyone and Mary's kind of cuckoo moments. Like,
where is Meredith? I feel like she's like never around.
Like producers aren't respecting her or something, because other than Lisa spelling it out to Grandad Rose and all those people, I liked it when the flaky girl, isn't her name Brittany or something?
You guys, I always thought John was I just got an attractive masculine vibe from him. And when he did that, I was like, yep, Lisa knows what's up. That's her man.
Yeah, so, and when the flaky girl went out to speak to that guy again, because he's only there for camera time, let's be real, Mary says to that other guy, how long have you been dating for? And he says, a month. And she was like, you've been dating for a month? Because like she's on like the rebound thing. It's just confusing.
Wait,
it's all very strange, but I get it though. Like, Heather explained it, how, you know, when you're Mormon, and if you're a woman without a husband, you don't get into the top level of heaven. And I'm like, damn, that's horrible.
Right.
Like that's foreign to me.
But that's
like,
it has nothing to do with like how good of a person you are. It just has to do with your deeds, which is ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
no,
whether you check off the boxes that they require.
It's not about deeds. It's more about centering men.
Yeah.
Like, a woman is worthless without a man. So it's not so much like, oh, what are your deeds? It's
it's both of that. Yeah, because like they say that men automatically basically get into heaven, but then women can just tag along. Like, what?
Right.
Wow.
Tag along.
It's centering men as like the center. Yeah.
Oh, that's
like if we get invited, we can come.
like you could do something really horrible as long as you're married. So it's really not, you know what I mean? That's more of what it is.
Mm-hmm. Like, no drinking coffee or tea, but like you can drink Mountain Dew.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
weird.
it's very. Yeah, some of it. I don't know. I'm like, what is going on here?
I mean, it's a
Like,
cult.
clearly, they are making stuff up as they go along.
Cut and
'Cause
pasting, yeah.
I'm like,
mean,
I know
it's
that
And
Jesus
confusing.
Smith
adding
didn't
more.
have this.
Candy, what's your take on this recent comment on the live? It's an interesting one.
The last
Oh, what it
one,
say?
Yeah.
it says, oh, there's a little echo somewhere. Okay, so this is from Emmanuel. It says, even though Lisa had the right to be angry, she shouldn't have gone up to Whitney's husband. That was inappropriate because she went up to him and involved him.
Probably.
I don't agree with that because one, even though she was upset, she didn't go up to him in an aggressive manner at him. She was more like, you have to deal with this. Like, this is like your wife, and she's like lying on people and everything. So it seemed more like she was like in the heat of the moment and she was talking to him. I think he was the one who took it to the next level because he started swearing at her. She's like, you have to deal with this. Your wife is lying. And she's like in the moment. And he's the one who got aggressive and escalated the situation. My wife's not an effing liar. And he said the full effing word multiple times. And that's when John Barlow, her husband, stepped in and said, don't swear at my wife. Mind you, these are all friends. Whitney's husband and John and all of them, they've all gone out. Remember when Coach Shaw was around? All of the husbands have hung out. All the ladies have known each other for at least 5+ years because they all knew each other before the show, and now we're in the 5th season. So it's not like these are strangers. And Lisa didn't go up to him in a disrespectful or aggressive way. She was just like, you have to deal with this. Like, she's lying on me. Your wife is lying on me. She's a liar. Because that's what they were talking about. I think that he should have just said, oh, I don't know. You guys deal with it. You guys talk to it. Or like, all right, John, let's go get a shot or something. That's what he should have done. I think it would be different if Lisa went up in his face and was like, get your wife or something like that, or was trying to buck up or even swearing, but she didn't do any of that. And like we talked about the other night with New York, when we were talking about the angry Black woman stereotype, there's also the female rage stereotype where we're allowed to be mad and to be upset. And so she had every right to be mad and to be upset. But I don't think she crossed any line. I think he crossed the line when he got in her face and was swearing at her. So that's kind of where I land on it. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the the female rage is kind of like the new, like, she's hysterical, like, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. I have nothing to add because that's what she did. Like, it wasn't like she was even trying to confront him. It was just like, it was the heat of the moment. He's standing there looking at her. So she's just like going to basically acknowledge him into it. But she wasn't like trying to like triangulate them or whatever. Like, I don't know. And then he just like went full blown and just started verbally accosting her by cursing. And then Big John had to step in.
Yeah, it was more like she was frustrated. It wasn't like she was trying to buck up at him. She was frustrated.
Yeah.
And he took it to that level. Yeah.
It's like when
Jacob said, Whitney had to jump up and try to hold Justin back. A mess.
You know what it reminds me of?
Wait 1 second, sweetheart. From Enthusiast says, I agree, Candy. You shouldn't go to a husband and call his wife a liar, but the way that man charged at Lisa, he's lucky Lisa's husband didn't do nothing else. I really don't like Whitney's husband. I agree. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Yeah, it reminds me of like when you're like, say you're at like the DMV or you're in line and like something's like just not right or like something, or someone's being like crazy in line and you kind of just look over at the person next to you and be like, this is ridiculous, right? Like that's what it reminded me of, kind of. But like it was her husband. And it's like, you cool with this? Like, what's going on? Kind of deal. And he's like, whoa! And he immediately like used it as an opportunity to like unleash. No. I don't think so.
You know, it's funny. So Jacob says, how funny. Whitney is holding Justin back because of a situation she herself caused. This reminded me, I don't know if you guys saw this. It was like this viral video going around about this man and this couple. They were checking in. I think it was like a Marriott hotel or something. And the guy who was checking in was like a gold standard rewards, platinum person. So he got, priority check-in. He was supposed to check in first. So he was able to check in, and this couple was like so irate, and they were so mad that they were helping this guy before them. The wife was like yelling in this man's face. She was like screaming at him, being so disrespectful, like going off on him. And she pushes him, like physically pushes him and gets in his face and pushes him. And this man has such composure. He stepped past the wife and he clocked the husband dead in his face and knocked the husband out cold.
Wow.
It
That's
reminds me
awesome.
of that, where it's just like, you better watch who you're with because their mouth might get you knocked out. But this man, like the woman hit him, but instead of hitting the woman, he sideswiped her and just clocked the husband, and the husband went down. Whoosh. You guys should see the video. It's crazy. But
That
that's the
sounds mad.
reminding me of that. Like, you're gonna get somebody hurt.
Okay, I'll try and search like priority.
I bet
checking,
Whitney like puts him
anger
in that
things or
situation all
something.
the time.
Wait one
I
second,
mean-
Natasha. Go, Adam.
I was saying I'll try and find it, and so it's something like priority checking this physical dispute or something. Like I don't know what I've. It sounds
She's like,
quite
what
the
search?
watch. Because like, I mean, I think overall,
Mhm.
as you said, the way Lisa went at it could be a lot worse, as you said. Like she could have lost her complete composure. I think in another world, in the land of peace, people like Whitney and all these other people probably expected Lisa just to stay silent, but that's not how life works. And she didn't even curse at him, even if she did, the provocativeness of Whitney is just undisputable. She likes to act like this innocent, frail person, just like how Kyle does in Beverly Hills. But when you actually see the real side, you're like, oh, that's why they're like this messed up way. And to me, I I think Lisa was in her rights just to say, you're just giving me some hearsay thing and trying to character assassinate me. Like, what do you expect me to do? Like, I was like, okay,
Uh-huh.
we've got a response from
I know I already responded. I was like, yeah, but you wouldn't start cursing at her. That's the point. You might just say, figure it out. I don't think she's a liar. Blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't be like, turn around and be like, F, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only reason why John stepped in was because he was swearing at her multiple times.
It was getting aggressive.
And then he stepped towards her. Like, he could have been like, okay, my wife isn't a liar. You guys go handle it. Hey, John, let's go get a drink. Like, that's what a real man would do. Or if he really wanted to protect his wife, he would go over to Whitney and say, hey, babe, let's go get a drink. And he would have taken his wife out of the situation. That's what a real man does. A real man, to protect his wife, does not disrespect another woman.
Exactly.
He should have gone and got his wife. He should have been like, okay, Lisa, my wife is not a liar, or whatever he wants to say, whatever the case may be. And then he should have went and got Whitney, and they should have went and got a drink or cooled off. A real man, a real husband goes and gets his wife. He doesn't try to check a woman.
Not buck up to a woman, yeah.
There's no world where it's okay for a man to do that to a woman.
Yeah, no world. The land of peace had me laughing at him.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
I'm like,
the
where's
world we live
that?
in now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Sandy said he just wanted to avoid Whitney's mouth at home for not matching her ridiculous energy. I mean, there might be something to that, because I'm shocked that Whitney and him are even still married. Maybe they're swinging or something, but their money situation.
I mean, hello, have you met Whitney?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one else probably could get into that loop of I don't know. I don't envy anyone who married her. Like
Like what Jacob
I'm good.
said, like Whitney is putting him in that situation. I bet she does that to him all the time.
Yeah.
And she gives him crap and she berates him and she's like turns around on him and says, "You didn't stick up for me." And so he's like
Mhm.
pushed in a corner, not even it's no excuse because clearly you don't understand even what that means, even if Whitney was valid, which she's not. But you know what I mean? So like it's a mess. Like they both need to separate. They're both toxic for each other and just weird people. And Whitney needs to go into like a hospital or something. I don't know.
Emmanuel says, Candy, did you watch the Real Housewives of Beverly trailer that came out today? I was forced. Adam forced me.
I know
Oh
Adam
god.
said it to me too. I'm not
Adam
gonna
made me
lie,
do it.
I was kind of impressed. I hate that I feel that way.
You
I'm
were or
glad
were
you was.
not?
I was kinda. I hate
No,
it.
I'm excited.
I
I'm
know. I was
pumped.
kind of impressed and I didn't want to be though.
I'm pumped. It's gonna be the Kyle takedown season.
I love
This
it.
Yeah.
this is so like overdue. I mean, like I feel like it doesn't have like the same ambience that it would have done like with like the earlier seasons. But
I don't even like to read.
but 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 I kind of think this is overdue. You've got this lady who has been on this show for 14 seasons too long. It's finally coming to her. I mean, I have no uh, idea how she's got so lucky for the majority of her time on the show, but this takedown is what I'm looking for. It's you can't expect anything less at this rate. With her actions, I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
she's facing it. But I
Me
was
And
too.
disappointed. I was disappointed that we didn't get to see much of the U girl. Kind of like all we got was Sutton saying she's a boss and she's cool. But I wanted to, you know, there wasn't a. I get it that she wasn't like part of the main story plan. The main story plan was obviously Kyle and Fatboy Kemsley's estranged wife.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like
I think we'll see more of the new girl when the show starts because there's no historical storyline to bake into the trailer for her. There would be no context for
Yes.
it. So
right.
so once we actually see her and she has storyline and context, I think we will. But I would say that I don't think it's just a Kyle thing takedown. I think it's more of a shift in reality TV in general, especially at Bravo,
Like
because
people are
now,
getting real.
yeah, people are being exposed. Like they're not doing the whole like having the producer plans and all that stuff. Like the way they checked Giselle in a way that we've never seen Giselle checked before. They're checking people on the OC. It's like now they're trying to really be transparent. I think a lot of that has to do with social media, where it's like they can't ignore us anymore. Like our voice is louder than their narrative. So I think that we're seeing that across the board, even on Salt Lake City. They're exposing Whitney for being a liar and they're exposing people and they're not letting people get away with anything, even though they helped Whitney lie. We're still seeing that she's being exposed as a liar. So I think there's been a shift in reality TV where like the people who usually get away with stuff can't get away with it anymore because like we're no longer fooled.
Look at what Sandy wrote. She said, "I didn't see Dory blink once in the trailer."
No, Dorit was out for blood.
I don't even
She
like
was
Dory,
out
but
for
I was like,
blood.
okay, Dory, I'm rooting for you, girl.
And then her and Kyle are about to go to blows.
Yeah, they were about to like
Have it out. Like
for
they
real,
have
for
it out.
real.
But to me, I I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be better than any of the ones that are currently on the air. But we'll have to wait and see. Uh, I'm just laughing at this at all your thumbnails because like there's these eight and then there's like that small person in the I'm like who is that? Like, I used to forget that person was even part of the cast.
Mealy, I was thinking about deleting her today, but I just left her.
Well, you
Who?
actually
Which one?
no, you weren't.
Oh my
Well,
god,
yeah,
I can't even see her name.
The one that like everyone forgets that they exist.
The little
on the
baby
show.
one. The little baby bubble.
Yeah,
Like,
I
why
don't
is she
think-
on the Bravo site?
I have no idea.
Exactly,
She like every other episode she makes one gasp, and that's her like scene.
like to me, I mean, is it bad? I keep on forgetting her name. Like,
I don't know her name. I still don't know it. Angie, you just said it.
I mean, that kind of says, "Oh, doesn't like no one kind of remember her name."
Yeah, Brittany is out of control too, though. Can we talk about that?
I mean, do you want her back on?
Yeah,
next
go ahead.
season?
No, she's just like, I don't even know how to articulate it. I just feel like her behavior is just so juvenile, and her reasoning is so juvenile, and it's just like off-putting to witness this from a woman her age, and to
How old
see
is
these
she?
people at this age like behave as if they're like dumb 18-year-olds when it comes to like relationships and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they genuinely are acting like they're like teenagers, but like idiot teenagers dating. And like maybe that's because like they were supposedly in long-term relationships and like marriages or whatever, but like I don't know. It's just very weird. And do you think that her date was just like, I don't know, wanted to be on TV, or what do you think his deal was?
I think he probably likes her and wanted to be on TV. But I wouldn't never embarrass myself like that. If I knew a guy was basically obsessed with another woman and just using me as a filler when he decided he didn't want me.
Right?
Do you know how old
Yikes.
the Britney girl is?
What?
Honestly, I
Brit-
can't tell with women anymore because they have so much fillers and it just makes them look ancient no matter your age, whether you're 25 or 45. Everyone looks 50 when they get too many fillers.
Well, the Britney girl's supposedly 51.
Oh,
Like, I'm
really?
sorry. How is a 51-year-old like doing this? You've
That's what I
broken
mean.
up with.
That's
You
crazy. That's to
I mean,
me.
like you're not even 30s, even 40s. You're
51
51,
is
and you've broken up,
embarrassing.
16 times with a guy. I mean,
And she's like, she acts like she's never met men before. Like, this is like too late in the game for this, sweetie. Like, what is going on? It's very off-putting. It's like I can't even like have empathy for her because I'm just like, what is this? Is just off-putting. Like, why are you this old having these issues with men? This is weird. You're
Yeah,
like,
it's not
you
cute.
think it was like your kid doing it, not you. I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's not cute. It's not a fun storyline. It's like sad and weird.
Mm-hmm.
it's also kind of just like it makes you kind of think like, what happened to this person? Like, did
I
they
know. That's
not
what I
go?
mean.
Like, did they not go to school? Like,
Or did like something, did they like lose memory or something? Or like, what is happening? Like, I don't understand. Like, she's generally acting like she doesn't understand. Like, she's never met a man before. Like, you're 51. You've been around enough men, whether you've been married before or not, to know what to do. And like, hopefully, you're not giving your children any advice because, good God.
I
But
mean,
like,
God,
you
if you
know,
told someone if you told someone in kindergarten, like, oh, I broke up with that person 16 times, they would like have nightmares for the rest of their life. Like,
or like, they're like, we're official now, yet they didn't say they were official and they only still refer to you as a friend. If someone only refers to you as a friend and never refers to you as their significant other or any kind of like synonym to that, like, what
I
are
mean,
you
that's
talking about?
problems. There's problems.
Like, you're literally, this is like something that you're making up in your head. Like, that's not based in reality, which would suggest mental illness or something. I don't know. Like, what is happening?
I mean, to me, hate to say it, but even Jax and Stacy's relationship was healthier than this.
It's just uncomfortable to watch just because it's not normal. It looks like these two people are not are not doing well mentally, and their behavior is just very, like I said, off-putting for their age. It's like when things don't go together. It's like some of these things don't belong, and you're just like, what? It's
I mean,
like,
this woman's more than double my age, and she's acting like this. Like, not in an ageist way, but I can't comprehend this. Like,
I get, like, yeah, like some women like don't really, but like 51, I'm sorry, like, no offense, but like some people are like, I genuinely won't be because I don't have children, but like I'm just saying, but some women at 51 are grandparents at that point. Like imagine your grandma doing that. Like that's ridiculous.
I mean, that's just beyond to me. I mean, like, I'm not even being funny, but if someone was 21 or 23 and they said, I've broken up with this person 16
You'd be
times.
annoyed, but you're like, okay, I'm gonna give them some slack because they're 21. But this is
I
like, and I would, and then at 31, I'd be like, I wouldn't even have really patience for like 31.
mean, I want to have patience as soon as they're over 27. Forget
Yeah,
even hitting 30.
no, past like 25 when your frontal lobe is developed, I'm gonna be like, girl, I'm just kidding. I'll give you a little more grace.
When your frontal lobe's developed, that was funny.
But
but,
I'm just joking. But
but
yeah, it's just weird to watch because like I don't know, like I feel like I don't, it's just very odd. I don't like it. It makes me feel weird. It's just like almost seems fake. That's how weird it looks.
okay, would you rather have been in this girl's position, yeah, where you have to break up with someone 16 times, or that you have, what's it, a 26-year age gap like the Bronwyn girl is?
Neither.
Age gap.
I'm joining the convent.
Age gap, hands down.
Yeah, age gap.
That's not a question.
I mean, Natasha didn't answer it. She just was like, neither.
I mean, that's a real answer, but if I had to, age gap. Because both don't seem great to me. But like obviously the age gap is probably better because at least you're not going through mental torture.
I mean,
But
this show is quite crazy. You've got 26-year age gap. You've got broke up 16 times, and you've got I married my grandfather. Like literally, like this show is like the
I always,
undefeatable.
you know what I always think about when I hear like big age gaps? I'm always thinking about what are you going to do once they pass away? Because there's a very
Spend
good
money,
chance.
have fun, get remarried. Like, what do you mean? What are you gonna do when they pass away? Live your life,
I don't know.
I
That's
mean,
just sad.
right?
I mean, what if what,
You gotta live your
like
life.
to me, it just sounds like a.
But you're like young and you can't like it's almost like you like can't be with who you really want to be in your youth.
I mean, when
Yeah,
you're
you can.
Like you wasted your youth on
Being broken up 15,000 times.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not saying that's the option. I'm just saying pretend like
that was the
we're not.
question.
We're not. I
That
know.
was the
I
question.
moved on from the question. Now I'm just examining.
Without telling us. Okay.
I know. I forgot. I figured you. I thought you guys were on my level. I'm just kidding. No, but like I've just moved
This
on.
is
Now
hilarious.
I'm just like taking a step back and like looking at that because I've always wondered that about that situation. Because I'm just like that would be sad. What if you really liked them and you knew that they weren't going to be in your life for that long?
Well, we don't know how long anyone's going to be in our lives.
True.
Yeah, but like it is that kind of weird hypothesis, like literally, to put it into perspective, when
Okay, Professor.
if you're in Bronwyn's position, you're 26 marrying a 52-year-old. Like,
And I don't know. It's just sad because at the end of the day,
like, to
I don't
me-
think she's like in love with him. Like I think she loves him. I don't think she's like in love. I think she respects him. I think she has gratitude. She enjoys him. But I don't think she's like in love with him. In love, and that's sad that she doesn't get to experience that. And it seems like it is. She entered this relationship with like a position of like kind of survival kind of thing. And like I don't know, it's just kind of sad. It's kind of sad for him too, because it's like I feel like he deserves a real love too. I don't know, it's his choice too. Maybe he gets to have a young wife. So I guess that's cool, but like, I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
kind of sad.
like
I
I kind of
don't know.
find it weird because the girl works in finance. She said
Yeah,
she
she
worked
was
in
working in
finance.
finance, but I
Like she
think
would have
that
been
like
fine without him. So it couldn't be a money thing. So
no, okay, I agree and disagree with that because just because she was working in finance doesn't mean she wanted to work. You know what I mean?
Ain't
yeah,
that's a gospel
You know
truth
what I
right
mean?
there.
So like just because you are working and you're a single mom who works doesn't mean you want to be a single mom working or just a
that,
single person working
yeah,
at all
that's
or
true.
just a
That's
woman
true.
working at all.
I
But I
know. I don't
wouldn't
want
say
to
I don't
work.
think that same. I hello. Um I wouldn't say that I don't
I'm
think
not built for it.
I don't exactly. I don't know that girl. It was two different conversations. The producers made me do it.
Yeah.
He was backtracking real quick. No, but I wouldn't say that I think that it's sad with Bronwyn and her husband and it's not real love because I don't know. I haven't seen them together enough to say that. And also, it's like just because someone's older and someone's younger doesn't mean it's not real love.
I know. I'm
And it
just going
also
by her
doesn't mean
vibe and how she talks about him.
I think she's just not secure.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think she could really love him. The thing is, I think there's a part of her that doesn't think she's good enough, even though they've been married for 10 years. I think a big part of her still thinks that
And stems from that wound that she suffered. Yeah.
that she is somehow not good enough to be in that world. And I think that's maybe what you're picking up on. But I don't know. They seem to be happy.
That's
But at the end
true.
of the
to
day,
to me,
and
I
some people aren't looking for like the fairy tale Disney love. Some people are looking for a best friend and friendship and security and safety and generosity. Like maybe she got everything she wanted. She got a man who makes her feel safe, wants to take care of her and her child.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes is what people are looking for. Not everybody is looking for a fairy tale.
I know, and I love that all for her too. I'm just so emotional type person, so like I
Mhm.
unfortunately require more than that. Otherwise, I feel like my soul would get sad
Mhm.
eventually, despite having all those great things. Like my soul would yearn for like a love, like in that partnership too. And it
Yeah.
sucks because
And
I
then
know
you'll
we
end up
can't.
like
Sometimes we
Sonia
can't all get
Morgan.
it every
You'll end up like Sonia Morgan.
right.
yeah. I mean,
That's a cautionary tale if I ever heard one. That's a
but
cautionary tale of destiny
She
swapping as well. You have to
she
look out
dropped the
for
bag
people.
with that one. Like, what was she
Mhm.
doing? She was just like floundered it. Like, she
She
got
was
too
looking for
cocky with it and was like basically like just like not taking her job as a wife seriously and thought she got it like that. And then he
Mhm.
was like, actually, I'm not cool with this. Peace. And I'm marrying your friend now. Like,
Yeah,
yikes.
that was a destiny swap. You got to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a good term.
Destiny.
Yikes.
Ooh.
That's kind of
Yeah,
scary.
it's a destiny swap. Same
Ew,
thing
that's
happened.
I don't know why, but that kind of scares me.
It's scary. It is
Seems
scary.
very supernatural. I don't know.
But
Like Selena Gomez and what is her name? Haley Bieber. That was a destiny swap. Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian, Paris Hilton. That was a destiny swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Watch out for those fake friends that are obsessed with you but don't really like you. They want to steal your destiny. Because
I
Haley
feel
Bieber used to be a fan and
yeah, that's single white female right there.
yep. And now she's
Literally.
popped out his kid, married him, all that stuff when she was praising and being a fangirl of Selena.
yeah, I mean
And then look what happened.
That's embarrassing.
And then Kim
that's
Kardashian,
messy.
Paris Hilton. Kim Kardashian was,
Organizing her closets and
organizing her
then
closet, her BFF, Destiny Swap. Paris came out with a certain tape, then Kim came out with a certain tape, and then now all of a sudden Kim is the most famous person in the world with her family.
I literally remember the first time I saw Kim and she was with Paris and I was like, who is that? And then
Gotta be
she randomly went on a date with Nick Lachey right after he broke up with what's the blonde girl? Simpson. And I was like, who is that? And it was just like it looked like almost like a like a Middle Eastern version of Jessica Simpson, like to me. And I was just like, who is that? And
Middle
yeah, and
Eastern
then next thing
version
you
of
know,
Middle Eastern version of okay.
like no, because they have like the same exact body type, basically. Like Jessica was like really curvy back in the day
Sorry,
too. She was
it was
short, you know
it
what I
was a
mean? It
lot.
was just like,
It was a lot. It was a lot. Sorry.
you know what I mean? And she's like white and blonde, and then she just looks more Armenian.
I
But
mean,
which is like she's beautiful too. What like I mean, I think she's actually prettier. I don't know. I feel like I'm like stepping into
it's kind
weird
of
waters
weird
that I don't even want to
because
step into right now. Like, what am I
it's
saying?
it's kind of a weird one with people just yeah, life is messy. Just say it as it is. Um,
Destiny Swappers is like
y-
such an extreme result of like that fake friend stuff too.
so
But
Jacob
then
is saying, was
again,
she in finance for real even?
but then again, is it anyone's doing, or is that just like God going, I told you I didn't want you go in this direction. Now throw this other person in it, like kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
No. Destiny swapping is the doing of the other person. It's like
Yeah.
dark magic. Yeah, no, it's the doing of the other person. It's not God telling you you're not worthy of something. No.
I mean,
But I mean, like, is she worthy? Because like, look at what she got. Was the prize that great in the long run? No.
What?
what
You
Yeah.
know what I
kind
mean? Like when you look at Justin
No,
Bieber, is the
destiny.
prize that great?
No. Destiny swapping is when there's a person that literally
uh,
wants to swap destinies with you, and it's a type of like dark spirituality, dark magic.
oh
Is
damn, this is
destiny
like
swapping?
Urban Dictionary without looking it up.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just
Uh,
like I just
uh,
operate with the thing where I'm like
No, it's when somebody else
I return to
literally wants.
sender all that stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I
It's like
mean,
single white female type stuff where the person literally wants to step into your life.
Like this is an actual like spiritual practice that someone is actively doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to
Yeah.
be like careful of. Yeah.
Yeah. Returning to sender. Thank you.
yeah. With this this season,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we know Lisa Barlow's the MVP class, spells it out, doesn't hesitate, you name it. Has any of the other cast members impressed you or entertained you, or is this just Lisa's predominant show?
Meredith. I'm here for Meredith.
Hello.
Hello, my love. Hi,
Hello.
Freddie.
Oh, I am so excited.
Oh
I've
my god,
actually
the
not
band.
I've not I've not watched this episode, but between us all, I'm actually meeting one of these housewives tomorrow.
Which one?
I
Can you
can't
tell us?
say.
I was
I
like,
will
you
not
can't tell
tell.
us.
If
Can we
you
ask
have a look,
questions?
if you have an Instagram look, you might be able to guess.
Okay.
Let me
I
see.
think
In a
I
memento.
think I know. Does her name start with an L?
Maybe.
It's that mealy person that's in the small picture.
Are you
Probably.
guys going for Diet Cokes?
I might be going for a Diet Coke.
Good.
And I might be going for a Wendy's.
They have Wendy's in London?
Only
Yeah,
recently,
they
yeah.
do
Yeah.
actually.
Only
Oh,
recently, but
love that for you.
Caddy, you were saying that Meredith has also impressed you this season so far.
Yeah, I live for Meredith because she's just fun. She's chill, and I love that her and Lisa have their pact where they're not letting people get in their ear and turn them against each other. Like that's like some grown woman stuff right there. And so I love that they have that pact and that they're good friends. And I love that Meredith isn't letting like she's not giving Whitney an
I
inch.
agree.
And I
And
love that.
can I cut in here
Yeah.
and
I'm
say
down,
that
Freddie.
what this episode proved and what Dana Wilkey confirmed today, if people listen to her podcast, is that Whitney Rose, and I'll say it allegedly for the purposes of this live, pressured Up and Adam to give a name. There was no other housewife on Salt Lake City involved in this. Whitney Rose tried to pressure Up and Adam to give a name of a housewife to say that they were involved. When Dana Wilkey and that guy on TikTok, what was his name? You mentioned him last week.
Giorgio says.
Yeah, Dana Wilkey and Giorgio Says had the main information on that. It was no other Salt Lake City housewife involved. They were the two people that had the main information. And Whitney Rose allegedly pressured Up and Adam to give a name that she wanted to hear. And based on the fact that she was very much on the or out, she was not in agreement with Lisa Barlow on anything. She felt that it would be best to convince Up and Adam allegedly to believe that Lisa Barlow was the person.
Yes. You
And
probably missed it. Oh, go ahead.
And Whitney did this. The problem with Whitney is she loves to accuse both Lisa and Meredith Marks in particular of doing what she does. She does the bad bidding. I mean, I know for a fact, and there is a Dana Wilkey video where it will show that Dana says something like, Whitney sent me this. Whitney is known, and from other bloggers I know of, who I won't name at this moment in time, she's messaged a lot of people to ask for information or to provide information. I just think it's a bit weird how Whitney, is like, these are messy. And I get why Lisa was defensive in this episode. She was getting lawyers involved. She knows exactly what Whitney's game is. She knows exactly what she's done. And she's going to get ahead of this. She will not take shit.
Agreed.
And Lisa's an MVP for a reason. Andy Cohen in his stories, actually, whilst in London with Lisa, he made it clear Lisa is his favourite. It was one of his favourite housewives at this moment in time. There's a reason she's in London. There's a reason why he values her out of all those housewives that are in London with him now.
Mm-hmm.
She is the MVP.
1,000%. And you probably missed it, but like, we did a whole deep dive on basically what you said. Like, and I played the Dana Wilkey clip where she basically spells it all out. Like, I have the clip of it. But yeah, 100%. So basically, Whitney and Adam made up this scheme and lied on Lisa.
I mean, I've met Adam personally, and his husband Jason in London. I've never liked to accuse people of being a liar, but Whitney, I would not be surprised. I think she sold a lie to Up and Adam. I would be very happy to say that, because I think Whitney is a con artist. As I said last week, she is, her life is based off lies. She started her life with Justin based on a lie.
Now, doesn't Whitney at some point reach out to Monica for information on the women?
I think she will. I think Whitney's so desperate. Whitney is so desperate. She has no real allegiance on this show. Maybe fellow Wico crew Angie backstabbing ass might provide some help for her. But I think ultimately, if Whitney and Angie want this allegiance to last for longer than a season, they want some hope of getting over the line, they're going to need someone like Monica, because no way is Wico Whitney and pathetic Angie backstabbing ass going to go up against Lisa Barlow and Meredith on their own.
I love the backstabbing.
They need someone else.
I love the backstabbing. That is brilliant.
She is. I mean, she.
Adam, I love that.
And we all know she went. She backstabbed Lisa Barlow because she was known as the Lisa Barlow Arslick. That didn't work for her. It was a failed storyline. So she goes, "What do? I'll backstab Lisa." And that is her storyline this season, I believe.
But it's every season. It's always it's always the objective of someone every single season, and they just like rotate these like low rent characters around.
Yeah, and I don't trust Angie's husband this season. And Grandad, and the fact that Lisa, she went up against everyone, and Grandad Rose said it all. Grandad Rose, he's a snaky little prick, and the fact that he, no offense, and sorry to swear, the fact that he invited that Oswald or Osmond guy, whatever,
Ew, and the smirk he had on his face,
called, that seedy little guy, to this, shows how this Justin Rose guy has no integrity, and how he's a seedy little minx, and that no one should trust him.
He's like, "Oh, I didn't know there was drama. Shut up."
Yeah, it's like, Justin, I don't care. You're wearing some Nav Givenchy t-shirt that you probably bought from a charity shop or from Depop. I don't know. You don't impress me.
Yeah, it was just like it was just purchased along with the other purchases, aka her entire line.
Probably on lease.
I mean,
I really don't like them. I have no respect for them. I have no time for them.
Agreed.
I mean,
except when we have to talk about this.
I mean, like, let's just say the cast member on the show matches the podcaster. That's how I view it. The podcaster is someone who said that the Nat should have never been fired on Beverly Hills. So that's up and Adam for you. But I think Lisa will do this splendid job and put all these people in their place. I don't think any of us are going to see this Grandad Rose wannabe or his lame wife go anywhere towards Lisa Barlow's stature. I mean, at the end of the day, even Heather with her flip-flop ways is nothing compared to Lisa Barlow. As much as Heather wants to wish this is her show, at the end of the day, she knows that, even so much so that she told loads of media outlets such as Extra and all the hot ones that Lisa Barlow was the one why this show became instrumental, because she helps it come together in development. So if they want to play against her, then they're going to just be checkmated on a chessboard.
It's like Heather, now that she's friends with Lisa, it's like her heart is full.
No, but I agree with Adam.
Wanted,
I agree with Adam on this. And I said this on my Instagram today regarding Lisa, is that, and I said this last week, Lisa was wanted by Bravo and NBC since 2013. And let's look, Lisa puts in a lot in every single season. She does not fuck around here, and she deserves the praise. She deserves the success she gets because she puts in the work. She's not some lazy person that doesn't really do anything. She puts in the work, and for me, I like people that are willing to graft to get to where they are, and Lisa does do that.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just weird how they keep trying and failing miserably. You'd think they'd stop by now. And like, you just look embarrassing, Whitney. Like, you just really do.
I mean,
this is getting obnoxious.
I mean, if I were Lisa Barlow, the most constructive thing she can do to this desperate Whitney and backstabbing ass woman is say her iconic tagline of, "You don't have to like me, but I like myself enough for the both of us, and your closeted husband, and your granddad husband."
I can't.
Ready. When you meet up with the person for the Wendy's, tell them that they need to keep giving it to the girls, but give it to the girls in a way where they still retain their composure and their that girl energy. Like, I know what they're doing is so evil and disgusting, and of course you're going to be angry and outraged, but like snatch the edges, but don't let them get you out of pocket.
Don't let them
Like,
see you
don't
sweat.
fall down to their level. Yeah.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah, because she's the winner. Like, point blank period. She's the winner. She's that girl. She has the truth on her side. And it's like any narcissistic, jealous person, they do these little things. They keep picking because they want you to explode. They want
a reaction.
That reaction. They want to get that energy so then they can be like, oh, see how her reaction is? Because I caught her because she's busted. No, because you're lying and people are just tired of your crap. Not because she's busted, but because you're an awful human being and people are just tired of you.
And you've been doing this for seasons.
You've been
Give it a
doing
rest.
this over and over and over again. But I think if she like we were talking earlier, like how Nene would be like, I said what I said. And she doesn't get out of her seat. She's not yelling, but she says it in a way where she wins and clears the girls. Like, that's what I want for Lisa.
Oh, I agree. And this is why I said last week, I believe Lisa Barlow is probably the best casted housewife we've had in the last 10 years. Because, I mean, who have we had in the 10 years? I'd say close to Lisa Barlow, you maybe have Sutton and Erica. But people that resemble what Lisa Barlow inputs, you've got Nene, who was casted well over 10 years ago, Phaedra, Camille, all these talents were that meet Lisa Barlow. They were well over 10 years ago. I really believe Lisa is probably the best casted person in the last 10 years.
Yeah, and definitely the most.
No lies detected. I mean, I love Lisa, and I love Sutton too. I think Sutton's a great housewife.
I think that's why Beverly Hills is rocking right now.
Yeah, I think Sutton. Yeah,
but I like the both of them.
Me too.
But I think at the end of the day, I mean, maybe there'd be something that will shock us, but right now, as Candy said, in addition to Lisa Barlow, you have Meredith, and as we were discussing earlier, you have the quirky moments from Mary and Heather, and even though Heather and Lisa Barlow Heather's a bit flaky with Lisa. I think Heather and Lisa, when they're on a good side, are a good duo, but the rest of the cast can go. I mean, like the backstabbing ass classic like that, and granddad Rose and his boring, lame, stupid wife can.
Well, his gold digging wife, as Dana Wilkey called him.
I mean, I know you and I disagreed with this the other day, Candy, but I believe that Bronwyn can have another season over the backstabbing ass.
No.
You want to see the backstabbing ass for another season?
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay, between Bronwyn and Angie. Okay, now at this point, I just want them both to go because Bronwyn also is trash for how she's treating Lisa and coming into the show. Like, Bronwyn, literally the first thing she did was turn on Lisa.
Within episode 1. It was like episode 1.
Yeah, now she's up Whitney's butt and she's up Angie's butt and turning on Lisa and acting like Lisa is like some horrible person. Was Lisa this horrible person when you were kissing her butt, being her friend, and then she got you on the show?
And as I said, having a rich older husband is not a storyline these days in the housewives world.
Exactly. And it's your whole personality. Her whole personality is that her husband is old and he has a lot of money. Newsflash, nobody cares.
No. Literally, but but pragmatically, like they're gonna get rid of the two irrelevant friends of and 2 housewives. If they get rid of a third housewife, I'm perfect. But I would rather put up with Lisa Barlow throwing shade of her for another season than seeing this backstabbing ass and Grandad Rose's wife.
What
Because
I
to
will say
me,
about Lisa Barlow is I've heard from a reliable source that she's still very much out on the odds with Angie, and the comment that Angie said about Lisa being a bad parent at this time is very much unforgivable, and that Lisa is really not willing to have a conversation and move forward at this time.
I think that's smart. I think that Angie is the type of person Angie is a very dangerous friend to have, because she's the friend that is going to smile in your face, and then the moment she has an opportunity to stab you in the back because she's been jealous of you the entire time, she will, and then she will act like you are the mean person. Then she will play the victim.
oh, she kind of
I would not forgive Angie either if I was Lisa. I wouldn't trust her as far as I can throw her, and I can't even lift her. Like,
I mean,
absolutely not.
Yeah, there's certain things you can't recover from.
From what I've heard is that both of them do want to have a big conversation about this, but the way both of them are feeling, it seems to me, from what I've heard from both sides, is that it's unlikely there'll be a resolve in this.
So
And
until the
that
reunion,
Lisa is incredibly triggered. She's incredibly offended by what Angie said about her parenting. Lisa, from what I've heard, admits that yes, she's not the conventional parent, but she's not a bad mum. She's very much a present parent, and Angie hit well below the belt. And she really does not know. Both her and John will not speak to Angie and the hairdresser guy husband, whatever his name.
I was like, I don't know his name.
Shane or Sean or something like that.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, they are not. They're both of them are not. They're not speaking at this time, from what I've heard.
As they shouldn't. Do we know when they filmed the after show? Because I found it very odd that the first episode of the after show, Whitney is still doubling down on the lie about Lisa being the person who allegedly told Dana Wilkey about the jewelry line. She's like doubling down hard. And I'm like, does she not know that we all know she lied about it?
Whitney's the resident liar.
Yeah.
Whitney has always been, as I said, her marriage is based on lies. Her life is based on lies. There is no other Salt Lake City housewife or whatever that is involved. I knew this, and I tried to hint this last week.
Whitney is scary.
I hinted this last week in the live. There is no other housewife involved.
Then Whitney was the Wilkey hint that it was Heather.
What I tried to say last week, and Dana Wilkey's now confirmed that since we did the live, is that Whitney tried to basically make up an Adam, from my understanding, say something that wasn't true.
Wait 1 second, Freddie. Let's watch what Dana said, because I have the clip of it, because she is alluding that it's Heather. So let's watch it again all together. 1 second.
Yeah, she's saying she has like special lines.
Yeah.
That would make sense, as allegedly Heather does have a close contact with her.
Yeah.
Rose pressured Adam before he could get a hold of me to tell him what she wanted to hear on the show. And Adam rolled with it, I'm gathering, because nobody else released the Alibaba gossip except for me. And that's because the person picked me very intentionally that actually wanted to call out Whitney Rose's business. Now, I know today you are dying for me to tell you who I think this cast member is. Why do I say think? Well, because this cast member tried to use a Finsta account to do it, but they did it in a way that I know who it is. The plot thickens. This person was very angry behind the scenes at what Whitney Rose did on the show to them after they were so close. This person has ties to staff members that gossip and are known to gossip. And this cast member is the best researcher of gossip out of the whole cast. And that is saying something that I admire and respect them. And I know this firsthand. And this person is very strategic how they deliver information on the show and when to deliver information on the show that usually helps with iconic scenes and storylines, and is the person that you would least likely expect to drop this tea. And if you can figure out who it is, then you just got the information that you listened.
Type of way. I mean, I like Dana. I know I've heard many things of this, but it's no surprise, maybe in my eyes, that Heather's behind this. She's been out in the odds with Whitney for some time, and based on what the stuff Whitney said about her, it would make sense that Heather would be then going to Dana Wilkey potentially and saying, well, here's the tea I've got on Whitney. Like, and I, Heather's working hard. She's trying to increase her life, She's gone from some shitty shack in Salt Lake to quite a decent 5,000 square foot house. And, if I was Heather, I'd be like, you shitting on me, I'll fuck you over. So,
I agree.
So
I think she just realized.
And what I do know is, I remember when Salt Lake City came out, and two of the people that Heather did first follow was Dana Wilkey and Rich Andrews. So,
Really?
Oh, not that
yes.
fact. Oh my god.
So I do believe that Heather has maybe potentially because maybe she's messaged her so she wouldn't use her real identity, but she could fake an identity. And I think if Dana's spoken to the real Heather Gay, and if Heather came as a fake identity, revealing stuff about Whitney, Dana's quite switched on, and she probably would have put two and two together, I would say. That would be my guess. And I've not spoken to Dana about this personally, but I know Dana well enough to know that she'd be smart enough to put two and two together on something.
My thing is this, and I don't agree with Whitney that this is even a scandal or a secret or a betrayal. And I really don't care who told Dana, because the truth is, this is literally just public information. This is just going to Alibaba.com, which everybody in the world has access to, and Prism by Whitney or whatever it's called, .com, which everybody in the world has access to, and being like, oh, they are selling the same exact products and using the same exact stock photos. Duh. Like, this isn't even a betrayal.
Worst kept secret ever.
Because in even Bravo Snark side was saying how, like, Bravo viewers, because we're all sleuths now, just go to reddit.com, was already saying how Whitney's stuff is allegedly from Alibaba or AliExpress. So it actually doesn't even matter who told Dana, whether it was me, you, Lisa, Heather, Meredith, Mary, Andy Cohen. It actually really doesn't matter, because it's not a secret. It's very different than how Whitney would be like, oh, Lisa, I heard you're giving blowies for jazz tickets, or you're sleeping with people for Vita Tequila distribution or this, that, and a third, or like Lisa said how they tried to get a man they thought Lisa was having an affair with, and they invited him to some Whitney Rose launch party to like catch her and a lie, but clearly that wasn't true, so they didn't do it. Like, it's apples to oranges. Number one, Lisa didn't do this, and number two, this is not a scandal. This is not a secret. This is legitimately anybody who is online shopping. Like, you could literally just Google like Gold Cross jewelry and see what different companies pop up. You'd probably see one on AliExpress. You'd see one here. You see one there. Like, this is not an actual scandal. Like, that's what everybody is missing. This is not a scandal. This is public information.
I agree. And if we have to look,
So
and let's
stupid.
be honest,
Yeah.
and if you look at all the companies that the likes of Lisa and John Barlow have owned, Meredith and Seth Marks have owned, and Whitney Rose and Grandpa Rose have owned. Whitney and Grandpa Rose have been in the most sketchy companies out of all of them.
Yeah, where's the skincare?
It's
MLM
always been shady pyramid scheme-esque related companies. And I just think, well, and there's not loads of information on what Lisa and Meredith do, but I think it's convenient how suddenly that there is rumors about these things from people. I think Whitney, well, I've heard allegedly from reliable sources, Whitney's a big leaker of those types of things.
I mean, to me, it just says a lot about her. I mean, as Candy said, like, her always thinking that things are equal and equatable. They are not equatable. I mean, to bring up a affair and all this slander, Lisa, there was proof in the fact that we could see it on camera. There is nowhere on camera that Lisa Barlow is even trying to character assassinate Whitney, because Whitney is not living in her head. Lisa Barlow lives in this laying Whitney's woman's head nonstop. And the reality is Lisa is enjoying life.
She's busy living her life, and Whitney is like plotting.
And Whitney is just miserable and depressed. I mean, she seems like she would do fine if she didn't have Lisa in her life. But because Lisa's on doing rocking, she's just jealous and just distasteful and quite frankly, to use an adjective, a repugnant person.
I love that. I live for that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I've got to go.
Yeah, it's getting late.
I will speak to you all later.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for OC.
All right. Speak soon. Night,
all right,
everyone.
love you.
Bye.
I love that. You're both of y'all's responses to each other are hilarious. You're both like, I love that. I love that.
Well, my icon Lisa Barlow would say the same.
Well, good luck with your meeting. This alleged L named person. Yeah, that's exciting and awesome. It's awesome.
Oh my god! Tell her I love her.
Yeah, tell her we all love her. Candy Washington and her Candy Canes all love her.
Yes, she has a lot of stands out here.
I know I will be passing all the feedback on.
And I still want to know what her.
And also,
let's hope it's still on. And yeah,
it'll still be on. And also, if you don't watch the beginning of this video where I literally break everything down, also ask her or let her know a red flag is Whitney was acting surprised when Heather told her that Lisa was the one who told Meredith about the story being leaked. But at that time, she had already known that even prior to filming, because Jason and Adam had told her that Dana was going to leak the story, and she told Adam she thought it was Lisa, and then had Adam and asked Adam to find the receipts and find their proof that he obviously was never able to find. So why is she then acting shocked that Lisa would know when Lisa's involved? She's clearly
For
lying.
how, what
Like,
I
why
will
is she
say
bad
is for,
acting?
Yeah.
what I will say is for
Show her the
Housewives,
slides. Show
for
her the
house,
slides.
yeah,
Take some
for
screenshots
house,
of
for
Andy's
Salt Lake
PowerPoint.
City,
Yeah.
for Salt Lake City Housewives actually direct messaged me and asked if I know of the details of this. So a lot of them had questions of Whitney lying and did feel that it was maybe convenient. She was maybe putting a certain narrative out there, is what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. We'll definitely watch the first 20 minutes of my video and screenshot it, do what you have to do, because I break it all down.
But what I will say is that there are many housewives on this show that we might not be seeing that thinks Whitney is a liar, but there is more than you think that are there that know Whitney is a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this reunion very may well be her last, and this is where the cards will fall down.
I hope so.
I believe so.
I hope
Because
so.
she's like escalating her weird
I
behavior.
can't.
Doesn't she reach out to? I think we already talked
Based on
about
what
that.
I know and based on what her based on what I know about her and all of it's not out there. I mean, there are things that I wouldn't want to say on my own channel or on another person's channel at this stage.
Gotcha.
And and what other people have told me that I can't repeat because again that's not proven.
Yeah.
If this all comes out in the reunion, I do not see a return for her. I don't see how it's possible.
Yeah.
There is no trust for her, and I think the life they know could be over, is what I'll say.
Just say yes or no. Does it have to do with Monica?
Part of it might. I think she would use Monica to try and get an in again, or to try and get some, I don't know, support, because she'd know that maybe there are viewers out there that would want the Monica return.
Okay.
But, with the husband, aka Grandad Rose, with the allegations I've heard about his business, a really deep level, and what she's done, and that's all interconnecting, I think there could be some serious legal implications.
Oop.
I mean, let's not forget when she had like those facts about fraud ready and lined up in her head when Jen got arrested.
Yeah, and her husband got laid off, or whatever you want to call it, because the company he worked for was in a class action lawsuit and they didn't want the publicity.
I would say we should all think about why Lisa Barlow was sitting on ready when Whitney was more or less ready to defraud Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
She's like, I will call my lawyer, the president, the police, everyone.
Because
the LAPD,
any jurisdiction, they're getting called.
Any housewife that works alongside Whitney with a brain, you need the lawyer closest to you that's going to make sure she drowns.
She needs to learn her lesson. Cut it out. Like, these games got to end.
She's only going to learn. She's only going to learn if she gets fired. That's the only way she's going to learn. If she's allowed to come back, what incentive does she have to stop?
I agree, because
that's
she's got no
rewarding
fame,
her.
she's got no credibility once she's gone.
Yeah.
It's like you made up too many lies.
Rose guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think that's going to last much longer.
Yeah, I don't see them going the distance. Unless for legal reasons they have to stay married.
I mean, with them, God knows what they've got them. I mean, there could be so many entangled webs of deception potentially they've got themselves into.
Yep.
But with Whitney, I just know all the people she's reached out to, and this is why I just don't buy into this woman's storyline.
Me either.
I mean,
Ever.
she's
And the
not a
thing is that
reliable
because she's
witness.
messaged it to other people, I can't. I don't have the actual dirt to be able to put it out anywhere. But I've seen the snippets, and I know what her mentality is, and this is why I don't buy into her.
It's just giving delusions of grandeur. Like, why do you think you're so clever that you could actually come up with something completely false and pin it on someone else and not get caught? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
I agree with Sandy
Monica.
Alive.
That's
Whitney
exactly
isn't
what Monica's trying
likable.
to do.
She's the worst. She's scum.
She really isn't likable. She's very insufferable to watch. Her voice alone.
Ugh.
I mean, I'd disinherit her if I were her grandparent. But she is married to her granddad Rose. Sorry.
A lot of people are married to their grandparents on this show.
Yeah, apparently that's the theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, what's his face? This Osmond guy. I still can't remember this fuckhead's surname. He is
Osmond.
Jared.
Gerald or Jared or Osmond guy.
Back in the day, there was like this singing duo called the I think, and there was like the main ones were like Donnie and Marie.
He is the biggest narc I've ever come across. What does he want? Like, you're doing Angie K's brow girl, and then you want to be with this desperate Britney woman whilst you're about it. Then you probably want to do Meredith Marks's makeup artist. I don't know. Then you probably want to do Heather Gay's Botox girl that probably gave her the black eye. Yeah, I know what you want.
Hot mess. But I'm excited for you tomorrow. Have fun.
Speak to you soon.
Yes. Bye, my love.
Bye.
Bye. And I'm tired too. I gotta go. This was fun and very informative. I love these slides.
Me too. They're a good time.
All right. Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. Thank you, my beautiful candy cane. Shout out to my panel. Thank you so much, Johnny, for coming up. Thank you. Did we have Tay Tay tonight? I can't remember. But if we did, thank you, Tay Tay. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Freddie. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Sandy, Adams Newman, Give Me Shelter, everybody in the chat box. From Enthusiast, Miss T. Brandy, how are you? Emmanuel, thank you so much. Jacob, as always. SW, what is up? Mademoiselle, how are you? All right, you guys. Mimi, what's up, sweetheart? Yeah. All right, you guys. You guys have a great night. I love you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any tea or tips, feel free to email me at assistant@candywashington.com. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for the OC. Love you guys. Bye.